Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever! And I mean ever! And in this case, we're talking about a disc which I have recommended before, but, as usual, it gets buried in the welter of other material. And so, the great recordings, as I've said a million times, need to be mentioned a million times. That's how we know they're the great recordings, because they get mentioned. In this case, we have a dazzling, stunning recording of Bartók and Lutoslawski Concertos for Orchestra, featuring Christoph von Dohnányi and the Cleveland Orchestra on Decca. Yes, this is the one. This is unbelievable for the Lutoslawski particularly. The Bartók, of course, has had quite a few marvelous recordings, but this is one of those fabulous discs that supports Dohnányi in his contention that when he was in Cleveland, he used to say, "We give a great concert and George Szell gets a great review," because everyone says, "Oh, well, it was George Szell. He built this great orchestra." Well, he did. And they have a tremendous corporate identity, this orchestra does. They still do. They have a distinctive sound, a transparency, clarity to the playing, virtuosity in all departments, a sense of ensemble balance. Really, it's one of the great instruments in the universe that has managed to maintain its own identity at a time when all orchestral sound is tending to homogenize to the same sort of, very, very good, but, somewhat faceless character. But they're one of the ones that has it. They have the personality. Is it Szell's personality? Well, you might say that. You got to credit somebody. And he did build them up, into an amazing orchestra. But what gives this orchestra, this performance, so much luster and glamour, and all credit to Dohnányi for achieving it, is, first of all, Szell recorded the Bartók Concerto for Orchestra. He did it with his own ending. It's not one of his better performances. Szell was only not usually at his best in 20th century music, except for William Walton. Maybe a hint of it sometimes. But, basically that wasn't his thing. It just wasn't. And his Bartók is good, but, aside from the bad ending, and his ending is much worse than Bartók's, it's not a thrilling performance. It really isn't. He used to get a little too fussy, I think, in some of these pieces. There was a story about him doing, going crazy over the snare drum solo at the beginning of the second movement and driving the percussionist absolutely nuts. And he wanted the timpanist to do it, not the regular percussionist. And so he did it, and he said he said to Szell, "I'll do it on one condition, that you never look at me while I do it, that you do nothing, to criticize," because he was obsessing about the dynamics and all that stuff. So he played it however he damn well pleased, and he didn't look at Szell, and Szell didn't look at him, and they were furious with each other. It's a great story, but the Bartók was not a Szell specialty. It is a Dohnányi specialty, and they play the pants off of it. It's an absolutely stunning performance, and it is a true concerto for orchestra, virtuosic in every department. But the real gem of this recording is the Lutoslawski Concerto for Orchestra, which is its most popular orchestral piece. It's an early piece. It's tonal. It's based on Polish folk music. It's quite approachable, but it's really a brilliant work. A wonderful work, especially the slow, creepy scherzo-type second movement, the capriccio thing, which is all done at a very low dynamic level with antiphonal muted snare drums and little bits of celesta and high violin harmonics and things. It's all just whispering along at a very, very, very quick tempo. And my God, do they play it. Oh, my word, it's fantastic. But all of the same qualities that characterize the Bartók are doubly true of Lutoslawski. And Dohnányi, unlike Szell, was an absolutely fabulous conductor of contemporary music. Second Viennese School, and all of that stuff. He did amazingly well. Unfortunately, he didn't get much of an opportunity to record that music in Cleveland with Decca because, of course, it's not the most popular stuff. Fortunately, Lutoslawski is popular, and it makes a fantastic coupling to the Bartok. It's an absolutely glorious interpretation, played at a level that no other performance has matched. I mean, really, they just haven't. Needless to say, this disc was in print for about 15 seconds. They did nothing to promote it. Nobody cared. And it's really depressing. It's in of course, the Dohnányi Cleveland box, which is probably out of print as well. But you may be able to get your hands on it still. And if you can, you definitely should. This was one of Dave's faves, I think, number 84 or something like that. But, I mean, how many people are following that series of 300 and some odd videos? You have to keep talking about it. I need to get people to get excited. Of course, it's no point getting excited if the disc isn't available, is there? That's just the way the classical music business goes. It's an exercise in futility and frustration in so many ways. But we're still going to keep talking about it, and we are going to keep on listening. Thank you so much for joining me, and take care.